What are some productive ways to let your anger out? Swimming. I have PTSD and have lived with anger and anger issues for most of my life. For me, nothing beats exercise. I like to lift weights. It completely takes the edge off. Heavy bag work is good for cardio and anger abatement. Yoga is great for both exercise and meditation. There is no one exercise type that is right for everyone. Try different things until you find one that you will do consistently. It could be running, swimming, lifting, yoga, martial arts, etc. Figure out what works best for you. Also, consider your diet. I found that some foods messed with my stomach. This in turn messed with my head, which brought out the anger. Over time I have eliminated various foods from my diet, and it has really helped. Finally, get your sleep dialed in. Try to get 8 hours a night. If possible, the same 8 hours. I go to bed around 12 AM and get up around 8 AM. Being consistent has been huge for me. It may seem like a lot, but once you get into a constructive, healthy lifestyle, your mood will improve, your anger will be manageable, and your general quality of life will improve. Drumming. Whenever I can't exercise or burn out the feelings, I write. Pour your heart out, and if you're worried that someone else may read it later, you can burn it to release the energy. Endurance running. My best runs were anger burns. Now that I'm covered flabby, house cleaning, piss me off, and my place will be spotless the next day. A rather uncommon and odd one that I often use is silent screaming, or dragon breath as I like to call it. I simply press my face deep into a pillow and blow air out from my lungs with my mouth wide open, but without using the muscles to move my vocal cords. So I get the energy release of screaming very loud, without actually screaming. This can work very well if you're mad at something or someone. Just visualize said cause of anger while you do this. I personally find, once the energy is out, I'm no longer angry. A second technique, which I find works really well for releasing stress as well, is a lifting technique that I use. Lift a heavy solid object and position it directly out in front of you. Keep your back and arms straight and just focus on holding it there still, as long as possible. This can get tiring if you use a really heavy object, like me with my office chair, but I find it clears any nervous or angry energy I have. Saving this thread, because I do have anger issues. Edit. Thank you for the responses here. Been doing BJJ, lifting heavy things, and riding my bicycle a lot before the pandemic. Here in our country, majority of gyms are still closed, and different quarantine rules are imposed per city. I will definitely do a journal, and write everything from trigger to my response to that trigger. I already tried some of the things said by other editors, and the truth is, the most difficult part is keeping the mind working once the rage ignites. But again, we'll definitely do the things listed here, particularly the things that are new to me. Thank you everyone. Full body workouts. I like music, cleaning with music, walks with music, and if I'm really angry, this may sound stupid, but it's extremely effective. I write a letter about it that will never be seen by anyone but me, where I can vent all the angry thoughts and get them out of me without hurting anyone. Exercise is amazing for releasing anger. Also helps with mood elevation. It very much depends on the person. Some people just need alone time, some people need distraction, some people need to climb a mountain and scream. Try them all out until one clicks. Rage cleaning. Grab that fucking laundry basket and throw all your stupid clothes in it. Stomp all the way to the washer/dryer. Furiously mop your goddamn floor. Get into your garden and lose it on the fucking weeds. I may have used this method before. It's a good way to use your angry energy to achieve a somewhat positive result. I find it helps if you mutter under your breath too. I like to have a full-on imaginary argument with whoever I'm angry with in the shower. I win the argument, of course. I keep my cool and have all the perfect comebacks, and the person is left shattered. So satisfying. Make pizza dough or clean the house. Push away that furniture and vacuum underneath. Doom Eternal. For lower stamina folks, throwing marshmallows is surprisingly therapeutic. Especially the campfire big kind. They have just enough weight to hit the floor with a satisfying thud, but they don't bounce or break and there's no secondary damage. You could do it inside or outside. Lift weights, specifically deadlifting. Honestly, I found journaling very helpful. I'm able to feel the anger and I'm usually able to understand what caused it. Are there any underlying feeling? What value/belief was violated? etc. Running or lifting, singing, squeeze a pillow, write it down, sleep. I'll listen to angry music for happy people. Metal just seems to give me an avenue to let the stress out. Take a walk in the woods. Meditation. I keep failing as keeping it a habit, but once I did a 10-minute session when I was angry AF, and I had a new me in the end of it. Running. Not focus on your anger and doing something that makes you feel a different emotion. The more you stay angry, the more you reinforce the feeling. Obviously there are times where you should be angry, but I think we are talking about when you're done being angry. Comedy is good. Creativity. Dancing. I tend to clean when I'm angry. Knitting. Whispering, stab it, strangle it, throw it off the cliff. Stab it, strangle it, throw it off the cliff. If that doesn't work, then sewing. Stabbing something over and over and over, then displaying it so everyone can see you have the patience to stab something thousands of times. Edit. Thanks for the helpful award. Enjoy your knitting. I've begun to do dishes or other tidying up in the house when I get upset. It's productive but gives me room to seethe. Touching my skin makes me feel better. Lasagna. I hate it. So whenever I'm in a bad mood and need an outlet for anger, I eat lasagna. No one cares if you're mad at your lunch. Seeing a lot of physically aggressive suggestions, most requiring access to equipment of some sort, which is not an option for many. Writing is a very good alternative for many, whether in a journal, which of course needs to be secured, or in the form of Dear Diary rants, or letters to the offending party/parties. Access to a fireplace, fire pit, or shredder is also handy. Write it, read it, sleep on it, read it again, burn it, and move on. Singing angry music loudly, in my case stuff like Tyranid's entrance aria or Brunhild's Oath, certainly helps. Boxing training. No sparring or anything if you're not confident. But it's full on exercise, and hitting a bag can really help you de-stress. Plus it may be useful if you're ever in danger. Masturbate to turn anger into sadness. Listen to music about your specific kind of anger with headphones. Close yourself off from any surroundings and fake scream the lyrics. Punch bag. Maybe an obvious answer, but working out. If you're angry about something, sweating it off is a great way to inhabit and resolve your anger. Every time I rage in a game, I say bruh and then funnel my anger into playing better. Buy an instrument. Start a grindcore band. Added bonus that, unless it's the drums, you don't really have to get that good at your instrument. Gardening. Hear me out. Not watering cans and picking berries, but digging a 3-foot hole to plant a shrub. Cutting down an invasive vine, filling up a green bin with 200 pounds of clippings. My yard has never looked better than right now, which is both good and bad. State to yourself what it is you're angry about, and then find a useful way to phrase it, and communicate it to the person making you feel angry, if it's something that you feel is likely to change, or due to a misunderstanding. I know a number of ways to help with overwhelming anger and sadness. But how do I bring myself to get past not wanting to help myself feel better? Does anyone else struggle with getting out of their rut?